okay? But that's our perception of real food. And in the American culture, there's a lot of fast food, there's a lot of takeout food, there's a lot of restaurant food, and there's a lot of highly processed food. When I even go in a grocery store and look at the ingredients on a label, it's hard to find ketchup that's not made without high fructose corn syrup. I've made ketchup from tomatoes and sugar. You don't need high fructose corn syrup. You don't need food dyes. In an American grocery market, it's hard to find pickles made without food dye. You don't need food dye in pickles. You don't need anything artificial in pickles. I've made pickles from cucumbers and brine and seasoning, spices. You don't need food dye in pickles, but I go in the store, I can find one kind of pickles that doesn't have food dye in it. I get pickles made for a produce farm that's not too far from the house because they're some of the only pickles I can find that don't have food dye in them, okay? Those are simple things, simple examples, ketchup and pickles. And in a market, in a store, it's hard to find it without food dyes, without high fructose corn syrup. And those are two examples of some of the things we want to get out of our diet. We want to try to eliminate those kind of additives, these kind of highly processed things, because basically we are being, at least in American culture, I don't know about around the world. Look, we got a second one saying, hey girl, meter's running out, I want in that box. But anyway, basically in American culture, between the highly processed stuff filling the middle of the grocery stores and the takeout and the fast food and the dine-in restaurants, basically we are being conditioned to normalize and accept food-like products that really aren't real food, okay? And so for about 3 years, I've had chronic pain in my hands and my feet and even the muscles of my eyes. And could coincide with about 3 years ago I needed to have a gallbladder removed. There could be a link, but nonetheless, this is my life now. It's gallbladderless, and I have to get up every morning and do what I need to do. So I need to be able to do it. And chronic pain was debilitating me to the point that it's interfering with my life, And the answer could be go to a doctor and get some medicine. But what if the answer were eat real foods? And what if the answer were the medicine is in what you're putting in the body? And in fact, the poison might also be in what you're putting in your body via the food-like products, right? So my previous downfall in my diet was probably that my favorite bad habit is Dr. Pepper. So I would allow myself to have Dr. Pepper, not really limit it too much. What's in Dr. Pepper? High fructose corn syrup. What does high fructose corn syrup do to my body and my brain? It tricks my brain into thinking I need sweeter and sweeter things. I need more carbohydrates. It tricks my body. That's what it tricks my brain into thinking. Tricks my brain into thinking I'm never full. Tricks my brain into thinking the priority is how the food tastes. None of that is right. None of that is right. When we get back to not having that influence, our body can remind us that the priority from food is nourishment. And the priority from food isn't how it tastes. If it tastes good, that's a great bonus. But the priority from food is the nourishment and the effect on the body. And if we're in tune with it, we can recognize, how does it make me feel? If it makes me feel worse, it probably wasn't a good food for me to eat. If it makes me feel better over time, this is probably a good thing for me to have in my diet. So that's what we're going for. So the lifestyle change was like a 21-day challenge. I'm almost to the end of the 21 days, probably about 5 more days left, and been trying to totally reject soda, been trying to eat things that are recognizable from their source or that are so minimally processed. There's just a very short line from where it came from and what it is, and stuff that doesn't have food additives in it. So in like the last 18 days, I have had soda a day, Dr. Pepper, and I've had like a couple times I've had sandwiches and pizza. But other than that, trying to eat just things that are recognizable from their source and are minimally processed and don't have those food additives. And then the other big thing I've been trying to eat every day is chicken broth. And what I end up doing is about 32 ounces of chicken broth. I boil it on the stovetop, pour it in an insulated tumbler, and sip on it throughout the day when it cools enough to the temperature where it's still warm and enjoyable and appealing, but it's not going to burn my mouth and my throat. So, oh gosh, I got to turn the camera. Oh, she's feeling her feathers today. But anyway, so been using the chicken broth every day, and what I've learned about chicken broth is that it's very good for cell repair. In fact, chicken broth has a lot of collagen, chondroitin, and glucosamine in it. And these things are all good for cell repair and for joint wellness, like in our hands, feet, knees, elbows, shoulders, the joints. So those are all things that I need to put into my routine to help eliminate the debilitating pain. And so I can tell you the great news was that about 4 days in, all the pain, that chronic pain was like gone. So, rejecting, eliminating the artificial stuff, and especially the high fructose corn syrup, and really drastically reducing the sugar, drastically reducing the amount of calories, probably wasn't counting calories, but probably drastically reduced them. All those things helped tremendously, and including the chicken broth that has all these good things and is a really great source of protein, really, and has these great things, collagen, glucosamine, chondroitin, that are great for cell repair. I think that helped me tremendously. So the outtake from it is I'm definitely going to keep utilizing chicken broth in my diet. With the meat chickens, we have access to making chicken broth. Going to keep utilizing the protein. These chickens, they lay eggs. Yes, we sell our eggs on demand. Most of the eggs are for the commercial part of it, but if we have eggs that are cracked or have a pinhole in them, as long as the inner membrane isn't broken, we put it into a household supply and we use those, and they are perfectly fine for us. Good enough for who it's for, right? So going to keep doing that, going to keep trying to walk, and I think inadvertently, like I said, I probably, by cutting out the soda, reduced calories drastically. So I do think I probably have trimmed a few pounds off. Honestly, we don't even have a scale in the household. I don't know what I weighed before. I'm not concerned about taking my weight now, but I think just by making those two changes, eliminating the high calorie beverages and eliminating the high fructose corn syrup and the things that trick your brain into wanting things that are bad for us, I think by eliminating those and including something that's very healing and cell repairing, the chicken broth, I think I actually struck a balance where the body can kind of eliminate some of that added weight that is unnecessary and it's actually probably hurting me. So those are all outtakes from that whole experience. But the poultry operation is kind of relevant to this whole thing because that was kind of my inspiration for like thinking, I can take this on, I can do this, I can eat real foods, I don't have to rely on highly processed foods. She's got herself worked up into a tizzy, doesn't she? But she's still working on producing her egg for today. But these are beautiful girls. We appreciate y'all joining us. That's Wellness Wednesday. These are the production reds, and I'm Melissa at Twin Oaks Family Farm in rural Southeast Ohio, USA, signing off. And we do hope that you have an excellent day. We hope that all your chicken dinners are winners. We hope that you'll subscribe to our channel, love the video with a like, and please join us again for other videos on Twin Oaks Farm Poultry. And please, this is the main message we want to share by having this platform. I better let her finish her thought, huh? But this is the main message we want to share by having this platform. Please do eat real food for your own well-being, but please support local agriculture wherever local is for you. Source your food as close to home as you possibly can, and source it from farmers and producers where you live as often as you possibly can. Thank you so much.